How's it going, everyone? My name's Spenny, and today we're going to be going over my top Skylanders of each element in Skylanders Spyros Adventure. So, let's get right into it. So, to start it off, we have the life element, and my pick is Camo. Camo, I think, is not really underrated, but not a lot of people had him, at least in my area when I was growing up, so I don't think many people knew how good he actually was, and people were more so stuck on the fact that he was very hard to come across, so I don't know, he has very interesting moves. His movesets are very powerful, and if you choose the right path, then he can do a lot of damage. He's definitely one of my favorites from the entire first game, let alone the life element, and yeah. So, for the earth element, we have Dino Rang. So originally, when I first played this game as a kid, my favorite was Bash. Just, I don't know, I think his moveset was really strong, and he could move fast using his rolling attack, but Dino Rang has one of the best movesets because he has the range, he has the damage, and it's just kind of unique to have like a boomerang. I know it came back in Trap Team with Gusto, or Gusto, whatever you want to call him, but Dino Rang is the OG, and definitely a really fun figure to use. So, for the tech element, it's not really a contest at all. Some people might say Boomer, but I say Drobot. Drobot is just an aimbot. Like, there's really no need to explain him. Like, he is arguably the best figure to use when taking down bosses or anything like that, just because you can hold down the button and he just fires off the beams, which is super overpowered and definitely a really strong move. And not even considering that he has a totally other move to use, which is Gears, I believe. So the next one is the air element, and I don't know if it's just me, but the Skylanders that make up the air element are not that good. I mean, you go from having an annoying Skylander that just screams, from one with an annoying voice, then you have one that just shoots lightning bolts, and I mean, he's okay, but not my favorite to use, and he's kind of slow. But honestly, just going off of looks and somewhat of attacks, I have to give it to Warnado. So this was one of my favorites as a kid. Just look at how cool he is. Like, I didn't really care about the moves in the game and how strong they were, but this is one of the coolest looking figures from this whole game. Not much I can say about him, like damage-wise, and I don't know, his moves, they could be better. Haven't used him in a while, but I know he's not the strongest. But yeah, he is my favorite out of a bad batch to choose from. So next, we have Slam Bam from the water element. Such a strong close combat figure. And he has a sleigh that he can ride on. I believe that's his soul gem. And such a cool feature to have, which he can just move really fast for a long time when you upgrade him fully. And I don't know, he's just super unique, and the only figure in the whole first game, at least, I don't know about other games, to be transparent for just a base figure, which is super cool. So next, from the fire element, we have Igniter. The fire element, I think it's pretty decent. I know I used to use Flame Slinger a lot, but personally, I like Igniter better. It's kind of just preference. I kind of prefer close range attacks rather than long range. It's just, I feel like it gets more action, if you know what I mean. I know that his movesets are pretty strong, and he is well liked by a lot of people. I know you guys probably know what my magic element favorite Skylander is, but I'll tell you again, it's Double Trouble. So, I've gone over this countless times. He has a lock-on beam that just melts enemies. If you use it on bosses, that is kind of where he excels. If you have a bunch of chompies and stuff around you, you'll kind of get swarmed just because it can only lock on one at a time. I know his Series 2, I believe, can lock onto 2 things at once, which is very overpowered, but for this figure itself, it's pretty good with what it is, and it's pretty good in Spyros Adventure. So, last but not least, we have my favorite figure from the Undead element, which is Chop Chop. So, Chop Chop is another very good close combat figure. The thing that is cool about him is he's more of a half defense, half attack figure with his kind of defense and push away attacks. Like he has the bones that come up from the ground, which can kind of do damage and push away enemies. And then when you're ready, you can use your sword and kind of deal some damage, which makes him a well-rounded figure in my opinion. So, that was my rankings of the best figures of each element in Skylanders Spyros Adventure. And if you want to see me do this with the Skylanders Giants or any of the other games, just drop a comment down below and I'll be sure to do that. So, as always, thanks guys for watching. So if you liked what you saw here, drop a like and subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you guys in the next one.